If the phone rings and it says Duke face, that's me. It's also figurative because I wash my face often. Enough. But what it means is, watch my reviews or I'll gut you like a fish. That's my best impression. This is also figurative because I will not gut you like a fish, but I might challenge you to a tickle off. Is that worse? I think it's worse. Cover up your weak spots because here comes my red right hand. Oh, fuck. My caller ID is flashing all over town like it's Scream 5 or something. Scream 5, actually called Scream, because Wes Craven is, there's a meta reason. Starring party of Scream 5, Nev Campbell, not really. Courtney Cox, but not really. And David Arquette, not really. Dropping into the theatrical wasteland of January 2022. Do I fucking hate Scream? I thought I liked meta commentary. And I love screaming. But this one feels like it goes too far. It's too cute about it. It spells everything out way too cleanly. It's not clever. It's not insightful. And most of the time, they're not even talking about horror movies. Previous Screams, not titled 3, always did a good job of setting up a precedence and calling out cliches and then naturally creating a situation where those cliches would inevitably happen. And when they wouldn't, the movie would turn it. This one just felt like it was making fun of what Scream is. You can't just do the trope without any fucking setup. Just because you're bringing attention to it, you're still doing it. The killers are so beyond obvious the minute that they show up. Yes, killers. Guys, come on. It's not spoiler. That I'm screaming it in the middle of the theater and then sucker punching the dude dressed as Ghostface because he's telling me to stop screaming. We're in Scream, buddy! And each movie did a good job of introducing one new character that fans like, not 3. In this one, they overcompensate with legacy character relation while missing what made the characters in the first place. But at least they talk about The Last Jedi. What, was this movie made in 2017? The killer's motivation is weaker than Old Man Rivers' hip check after I bisected the motherfucker, while simultaneously taking shots at him, roughly the only audience for this movie, which also makes Sidney's motivation for returning to stop this once and for all completely nonsensical given the fact their vague motivation could spawn countless reoccurrences. Scream 4 had a much more definitive severing point. Usually this is the part where I praise the movie and make a joke about my past. The movie isn't the worst thing I've ever watched, but it did fall short. Also, I'm short. Instead of all that, we're gonna fantasy book Scream 5. And I wanna tell a story. And you're already here, so you'll listen. Where'd everyone go? Long ago, Scream 2 changed its original ending because of script leaks, and essentially became the motivation for Scream 4. And then we have Scream 3. Ugh. Originally, it had an interesting twist. Schumacher was alive and manipulating high schoolers into doing his bidding, essentially a death cult. And then Columbine happened. And rightfully, the studio was like, we can't do that, son. With all due respect, time has passed. They could have easily done that and implanted Scream 3's ending into Scream 5. They even set up what could have very easily been Stu's motivation in the beginning of Scream 5 when Tara doesn't remember who he is. There you go. There's the spark. Billy Loomis used my feelings for him to manipulate me into fulfilling his revenge fantasy, ruined my life, and then no one even remembers who I am. There you go. A little shout out to the people that will ship those two characters, because let's face it, in the 90s, that's something you would be hiding. Bam! All of Tara's friends are the killers. Bringing Billy's bastard into it makes specific sense now, and Sidney really can put a stop to it once and for all. There you go. I fixed your fucking movie while I wiped my ass. Imagine what you could do with writing. Degree? Yeah, and they could still do this, I guess. But this was the movie you wanted to pull that trigger in. Because if they do it in any subsequent sequels, which they've already announced, it just says we're out of ideas, instead of we're changing things going forward. You get what I'm saying? I don't. If you always had a thing for Sid, I know I did, especially in Wild Things, you'll probably enjoy this movie. And I'm not here to take that away from you, but also give it to me. I'm only here to tell you that everyone is a suspect and to raise your standards. The core 3 are still likable, although understandably less focused on. There's some decent shots, some decent kills, and even a scene or two that works. But it's baffling that a movie that is trying to push the narrative that slasher movies can contend with elevated horror, which is horror without telegraphed music stings and jump scares, doesn't do anything in service of that argument. If you want to be up to date on this series, then check it out. But if you want closure or cleverness, cut it off at Scream 4. What? Hello? What's your favorite scary movie? Not fucking Scream 5!